Okay, I thought I would do maybe a quick video. I don't think I've done one since maybe I was in Caribou, which was a zone 4, 3B to 4. Um, I'm now down in Bowdoin at my father's house. Unfortunately, he passed away this spring, and I'm moving in. Um, did a lot of clearing in front of the house here. There were overgrown spireas, wild rose, I think some type of berry, a couple of trees, just overgrown and thorny, and um, it needed a lot of help. So I've cleared it all out, and started putting some things in here. We've got Millennium Allium here. Looks like the heavy rain has knocked it down a little bit. A box ball. I've peppered in some violets that a dear friend, local friend, had given to me. And I've yet to put in my lavender here in front of the fence because I'm curving it out, so I'll need to clean that out just a bit. But also in here, we've got, let me step down in. Got a hydrangea here that's Firelight Tidbit. So that should turn kind of a pinkish color once it's done blooming out. It's probably 3/4 of the way there. Some buddleia that I had put in before I started clearing out, and I think they just got dwarfed. um, they weren't getting the sunlight that they needed because of all the overgrowth. So I cleared all that out and put these back in, and it's looking good. And just some different things in here. I've got my peony that came up from the last garden, or came down, I should say, from further up north, down further south. I love this peony. This was new last year, so it looks really great. I brought some tall Becky daisies. They had already bloomed and got left in a pot up in Argyle, my previous home. So I brought them down in the hopes that, they'll replenish themselves here and come back next year really well. A couple of coneflowers back there. I wasn't sure where those were going to go, but I think they're going to do okay. I mean, they're a little stunted right now, probably because they've been moved around from pots to back here. There's been heavy rains, but those are going to bounce back. I got my St. Christopher here. I love him. All right. So sorry for the moving camera. Brought my bird bath down. This is a 9 bark I just brought back from up north. And that's going to go on the back of the house, starting with the border, but I just love it. So let me step back. This is my entranceway. Ooh, bumblebees come in to say hi. And this is a work in progress because this was just all lawn a couple months ago. Got limelight hydrangeas here. I did have these in front of the house after I first cleared it, and then I decided I wanted to work on a border, be a little less expensive than fencing. So I started with hydrangeas here, limelight, and then moving in here, I can't think of the name, of course, Summer Crush, I believe, and Quick Fire Fab here. My Bobo hydrangea is right there. Loves that spot right there. I'm so excited. And this one seems to be doing okay. Might have a little bit too much sun, but I think it's going to be okay. It's Twist and Shout. Beautiful The Bath statue. I love her. I also brought down this past week my azalea from up in Argyle, and this has a beautiful light pink flower. It's really, really pretty when it blooms. So hoping that this does well here. It seemed to struggle a little bit where I was, but it also was underneath an eave on the porch, and maybe it was getting too much water um, up north. So hopefully it does better. Okay, pan over here, and you can see paint. I'm trying to figure out my pathways and beds, get an idea of what I want. This little pollinator circle here with the bird bath. We've got some astilbe, which I'm probably going to relocate. I think it's too much sun. I'm going to put a lavender here and a cleome, agastache. I can't say that. So I think those are both annuals anyways, and some veronica back here, like pink veronica. One that's already gone by and one that's still doing pretty good. I just love veronica. So I don't know. I might keep this little round bed since I do have some annuals in there and I'm going to relocate a couple things. Maybe I will keep this as like a tulip bed, and then after the spring just put in some annuals like super petunias or something like that can kind of spill over the rocks and just create this beautiful mound of flowers that the pollinators will love. I think that'll be a good idea. All right, I'll come over here to the steps. I've got a planter here. This begonia, this was a gift from a friend of mine up north. I just love it. It's so pretty. And my plant holder from Marshall's. I got 3 pieces that are all made of the same material and have the same look. I love it. I'm like a Marshall's freak. Okay, so in front of the bed, this is in front of the house. This is the other bed that I cleared out. I've expanded it a little bit, so I've got some clearing to do. Again, I'm going to put lavender along the fence line. And then I've got some various things through here. I put one of my clematis vines I brought down from up north on this tree stump. And I decided to keep the tree stump. It adds some interest here, and starting to fill it in with some of my fairy things. I'm not going overboard with it this year, just maybe some of the bigger things. Peter Cottontail sneezewort. I love that little white puffball plant. I think it's so cute. And I got lots and lots of violets in here. Lamb's ear I moved from back there against the house. It got drenched in the rainstorms. Did not like it, so I moved it out here, and it's actually starting to pick up and stand up a little better, so that's good. Put a new Mr. Good Bud sedum in. Ooh. And my calendula back there is starting to bud up. I can't seem to zoom in. Oh, there we go. Getting some buds. That's going to be really pretty. Can't remember the name of these white flowers, but that's okay. I got the tag somewhere. Laura Phlox. It is budding up. We'll see how big that gets, and if it spreads, I think it will. And an Oh So Easy Rose Italian Ice. I haven't been real good about deadheading, and it's moved. It was in a pot for a long time, and I had it in one place, and I moved it, so we'll give it this year to kind of recover. Okay, and so the path, let me bring it back there, is going to go around behind the back of the house, which is very shady, and it's got some ferns already, which is great, and a lot of moss, but I will start putting in some shade plants as we go along through the year. Try not to make you dizzy as I spin around. Okay, so the pathway kind of goes down an embankment, and then there's a big flat area out there, which is really beautiful. It's shaded through most of the day, so I'll have fun with that in the coming years. Right now I'm really focused on the front yard. My Venus statue. I've got a little bench here and a sumac tiger's eye. I love these guys. I'm hoping it does well here. This is Electric Love Wigglia. Isn't it pretty? I think the hummingbirds are going to love that. It's got little trumpet flowers on it. And then I've got Brandywine viburnums back here, back behind where the bed is presumably going to be. That will be kind of like the border, starting the border. Got a lilac here I just put in. I haven't even taken the tag off yet. I think is it Lil Kim? Nope. Fiala Remembrance Lilac. So that's white. That's going to be so pretty. And then I got 3 more lilacs along the front here. So this bed here, careful I don't step in the septic hole. This bed here is going to be a memorial garden / moon garden, I think. It's kind of the biggest one. I'm probably not going to keep my fencing up. I just love this fencing, but I don't like the way it looks, and I don't have enough pieces, and I can't find them anymore. So I'm stuck with 8. So they're better for small spaces, but I want to focus on white flowers and bushes in here. I got my angel there, my quartz crystal there, little girl fountain there. Very unhappy with the fountain I just got. It didn't want to work unless you bang it against the fountain every once in a while, and I can't do that. I'm not going to move her all the time. Probably move this obelisk because it's black and I want to focus white in here. Got my white chiffon, Rose of Sharon. The bumblebees absolutely love the Rose of Sharon's here. I've got my white one here. And I've got my angel statue here. So my guess is I'm going to take this table and chair out of this bed. And I've got a butterfly bench, big metal bench that I'm going to paint white. And I think that will look much nicer in here. It will be so pretty. I may end up keeping the fence panels. Maybe just use a few of them so they're more maybe used for climbers. Maybe I'll get a climbing white rose in here. That would be pretty. Or a white clematis, something like that. That could start to enclose this area just a little bit. I think that'd be really pretty, but I want it to be a place to come and sit and think about loved ones that have passed. And if you know me, you know I've had a lot of losses in the last few years. Okay, so moving on. So then we come back to where the hydrangeas create that back border around the yard. So this bed here is going to kind of swing out around back behind the azalea and the statue, and maybe include these 2 smaller hydrangeas here in the bed itself. Got my bird baths and poor little rose I brought from up north. It really did not take well. I'm not sure what happened. It didn't do well in the transporting, and it was sitting in soil that maybe wasn't the best in a pot. So this is the Rose of Sharon lavender chiffon, and the bees seem to go from one to the next to the next. So I've got 3 altogether in this front yard, and I see them going from one Rose of Sharon to the next to the next. I absolutely love it. And all right, so that's the front yard. Oh, let me actually use my path. I think for this year, I'm going to keep the paths grass, and eventually the beds are going to be all mulched and edged. Yeah, I'll probably include this in the bed as well. So a little tight to get a lawnmower through there, so I don't know. We'll rethink some things. Maybe I'll just have the main path be grass and then some type of mulch, like bark or something, behind the beds and between the borders. You know, you can only take a lawnmower so far. So this is the big side bed. Put a couple of sedums in yesterday that I got. They're seeming to like it so far. I've got a couple of heucheras in the back and astilbes, some white phlox. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the phlox here, but I think I am. I can get more white. My foxgloves took a hit from the rain. They fell. Those ones back here seem to do okay, but they were a little bit shorter. Got my rose campion. I always put that in. Some coneflowers and liatris. Isn't that pretty? This is a type of liatris I haven't grown before. This one gets like 4.5 feet tall. It is humongous. Put a delphinium in back there. It was a little rough when I got it from the nursery, and it's still looking a little rough, but that's okay. It will come back next year. I usually have pretty good luck with delphiniums. Double knockout pink roses. They need to be deadheaded, I think. Let me go back a little bit. And then some mini irises here. But I love these rocks. My dad had a lot of, there's a lot of ledge here, and he didn't do a lot of gardening. He did make some, this big garden bed surrounded by all these big rocks. I love it. Starting to get this pathway cleared out. Put this bee balm down, raspberry, or not like raspberry, but raspberry. I cut those back, and they seem to be coming up pretty good. So some more coneflowers back there, and my goddess statue there. Big tree stump covered with moss. I just love that look. This is an annual salvia, but it's very pretty. Maybe it will give out some seed. I don't know. Might not. And I moved my columbines over here because they don't get blistering sun here like they did over in the front yard. As you can see, they're kind of yellow and the leaves on the bottom. So I think they were getting too much sun where they were. I think they're a little bit happier here. They've perked up a lot. Okay, so on the other side of the pathway is another small bed. I call this the hot bed. It's full of daylilies. It had these yellow ones. Sorry, pull those out as I see them, because they get really nasty. But anyways, they had 3 clumps of these huge yellow lilies. I pulled the biggest clump out that was in the middle. I'm going to pass that on to a family member. Got these little peach colored ones. Those are really pretty. I think I put those in earlier this year. And there's some here. So maybe I didn't, because I'm seeing more. And I know I had only put in 1 batch. Anyways, there was some foxglove here earlier before I moved it to the next one. But that probably will drop some seed. Some annuals, blanket flower. Got some more lily buds coming up there. Tenacious. The liatris got knocked over by the rains, I would say. Some more daylilies. These are pink. I don't know the names of these. They were here. double knockout rose red. Needs to be deadheaded, but I think this one's going to do really well. Here's a beautiful liatris. Now, I've always called the purple liatris Blazing Star, but I don't know if the taller versions have a different name. I think they do. Someone at the nursery told me there's like 3 or 4 different varieties of purple liatris. And so I'm going to look up the specific name so I'll know. Nice dark daylily here I put in. I love it. It's like a maroon color. There's some beautiful ones up north that are bigger than this. They're even more pronounced, more of a pinkish red and a brighter yellow in the center. They are so pretty. They were there from the previous owner. So I don't know if I can grab a couple of those before I make the final move or not. And then some more of the yellows. Yeah. They get so messy. Anyways, and some more liatris right on the end. There's some trees here. I've cut some down. You can see this big bunch right there. I've got to get rid of that. I've got to clear that out. My feeders get emptied like within a day. I think I've got a lot of big squirrels here. Little king frog. But these pines were here. I love them. I don't know what kind of pines they are, but I love them. There's these big ones back here. They're going to shade this bed a little bit and shade, hopefully, the driveway a bit too. I'm going to come up here, try not to trip, to take a look at this one. I don't know if you can see the shape of that, how it's bent over, but I just love that look. It's very, very prickly, but look at the branches. I mean, these are sharp. Holy crap. I love how they're wavy and curly. I don't know if it's a type of weeping pine. I just don't know. And I'm letting it go because I think it's beautiful. I love anything like that. I think it's so pretty. Got a maple up there that was kind of left to grow and a pine. But there's a lot of brush and smaller maple trees started that we don't really need all of those. So I don't know. Got some more clearing to do, but I've only been here for a couple of months and I've made a lot of changes. I mean, a lot. It's a lot of work. Mostly by myself, but not to toot my horn. Well, maybe to toot my horn a little bit. My secret garden gate, obviously it's not going to stay here. There's not much of a garden behind it, right? Not sure where it's going. I think it's going out back eventually. Just going to show you out back really quick what I'm working with. Again, it's just grass. Luckily, it's grass that doesn't grow real tall. We're going to put a deck here. There is all kinds of ferns because it's shady and it's damp and the ferns love it. Got a fringe tree here that I put in about a week ago. It's a tree line. Cistern plum I put in earlier this spring. I don't know. They were in the pots for a long time. I've got 2 of them. I'm not sure how they're going to do. They look dry to me, but I'm keeping them watered. I'm not sure. And another fringe tree right there. But other than that, why would I want to plant back here? My gargoyle fountain. Had that since Caribou. Great yard sale find, $35. That's like a $350 fountain. It's amazing. Brought Merlin down. Look at this tree. Oh, I call that a goddess tree. I'm not going to say why. You can figure it out. But I'm looking straight up. That's my canopy out back here. It's beautiful. I know this tree has some damage. It's dead in the center. Probably should come down. I don't know. We need professionals to do that. But I love it. But look out back here. And there's always stuff. You gotta be careful walking back here because there's always branches and pieces of bark on the ground. Well, obviously those fell from above at some point. So if you hear cracking and stuff, you gotta kind of watch out. I put my crane on the edge right there. He's so cute. But the property line kind of extends back into the woods a ways. I'd gotten this new, I can't even think of the word for it. The new Buddha I've had for a while. My Kuan Yin, my first statue ever, I've had since I was living in Topsom. She looks good out here. And that's a solar light actually in that lantern. It's not really a lantern. I can't think of the word of it. It's not a temple. But anyways, it's so cute. Okay, so a whole bunch of ferns on the ground there. You can always see dappled light through here. Beautiful deer walked out here about a month ago and just crossed the lawn. It was so pretty. I put in this Japanese maple. I don't know the name. I'll have to go in and check the tag, but I think it's going to do well. It gets dappled light and it's already got some new growth on it. So, yay. I have not had any luck with Japanese maples before now, so I'm really hoping. I put my other little praying Buddha on the rock, and that there. And don't look at that screen thing, that looks horrible. I had it up and then I moved it because I couldn't see my bird feeders. Ganesh, let me bring that down. There we go. So that's about it. Got a table and chairs with an umbrella out here. Probably gonna put my fire bowl out here. I don't know if I like the look of this. I've got a table coming down from up north with a turquoise umbrella. I think I would like the turquoise umbrella more, but I don't know. Maybe I'll have both. But I live by myself, so why do I need seating for 8 people out here? You gotta have some cookouts, I guess. Invite family over and friends. So, anyways, the property goes down over the hill. There's a middle terrace down there. I'll show that in a different video because this is getting long. Probably won't even be able to upload it. Okay. Have a great day, everybody, from Enchanted Gaia. Bye-bye.